All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we've got another prediction similar to the one for Shawn Porter and Kell Brook. A former opponent of Terence Crawford has stated his opinion about what will happen in that fight and why. And I know as a result of this, you Terence Crawford fans are going to be calling me a hater. However, says that he sees a knockout coming. Let's talk about why in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division where a former opponent, Hank Lundy, a former opponent of Terence Crawford, gives his prediction for the fight between Errol and Terence Crawford and how he sees it playing out. And as I said in the preamble of this video, some of you Terence Crawford fans are not going to like it, but I'm sorry. I ain't making it up. It's what the man said. Like it or lump it. Now, before I get into that though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. And especially thank you to everybody that sponsors videos like this in the super thanks. It is a great way to encourage content creators to continue to do the type of content that you may enjoy while you're on your job, while you driving, while you out there mowing the lawn with your headphones, or whatever you doing while we chopping it up about this boxing. But before we get into that, I just want to tell you real fast about today's sponsor, the Boxing Showtime app. It's a very useful app that keeps you updated on all things boxing, and you can keep up with the latest fights, where to watch them, the latest news, and a lot more. For any hardcore boxing fan like myself, and most likely all of y'all, I would definitely recommend downloading it. And it also is most definitely a big support to the channel. It's available for both Apple and Android, and you can find the link in the description below. Thanks for considering downloading Boxing Showtime's app. But let's get back into the subject matter of the video. But let's get into this. Terence Crawford is a former undisputed 140-pound champion. And one of the fighters that he stopped in his time at 140 is a Philadelphia fighter that goes by the name of Hammering Hank Lundy. Hammering Hank Lundy got knocked out, but put in a very spirited fight with Terence Crawford, landed his fair share of licks, but at the end of the day, the bigger, the stronger, the more skilled fighter, Terence Crawford, won the fight by stoppage. He recently had a fight because, you know, fighters keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and Hank Lundy is one of those guys that keep fighting a little bit past his expiration date, or a lot past his expiration date. Just this weekend, or last week, was knocked out in a fight. After the fight was over, he was interviewed. And he was asked about the Errol Spence Terence Crawford fight, and he said that he's taken Errol Spence Jr. in that fight because Terence Crawford is going to fight. He said Terence Crawford's going to fight when he's not supposed to fight. And that's what his mentality is. That's what he does. And he doesn't expect Terence Crawford to just go out there and box Errol Spence Jr. When Errol Spence Jr. presses him and gets in his chest, that his reaction is going to be to throw hands with Terence Crawford. And he said when he does that, that is going to open him up. And now he's playing the game of Errol Spence. And he could actually see Errol Spence Jr. knocking out Terence Crawford again. And it is because of Terence Crawford's mentality. The fact that he wants to get in there, and he specifically said that he likes to get in and likes to fight street style, and likes to get out there and start throwing wide shots when he wants to go with somebody, and that is going to be That's going to be the opportunity for Errol Spence Jr. to get in there and do some work. Now, what does that mean as far as the conversations that boxing fans are having? When people talk about the skill set of fighters, people oftentimes, at least this is what Derek James says, this is what I believe as well, and this is definitely the case for guys like Prince Nassim Hamed was a guy I think that really showed to a certain extent. Roy Jones Jr., when you compare him to guys like Bernard Hopkins, or you compare him to guys like maybe definitely an Antonio Tarver, where you have guys that are very athletic and flashy, and they do a bunch of different things that other people cannot do. Now, let me say that again. They do a lot of things that other people cannot do. They have the reaction time to be able to punch in between your punches, pull back from shots, straight back from shots, still land counter shots on you, right? Have the power to catch you with one shot, right? A lot of that is athleticism. It's exciting. It's easy to see the different things that they do. And that is a little bit different than somebody who is focused on fundamental boxing skills or any other type of sport that you may mention. The fundamental skills involved with that, right? Like basketball, you have guys that are flashy dribblers, flashy passers, and they throw the ball away. Where you have some other guys that are very fundamentally sound, who keep the ball, protect the ball, and very rarely, if ever, turn over the ball. Maybe once a game, something like that, right? It's the amount of mistakes that they do not make. Now, Terence Crawford, whenever Terence Crawford gets hit, Terence Crawford wants to get his lick back and make sure you do not continue to attack him. So what he will do is he will, as a strategy, go back on the attack to make you think twice about trying to get back up in his chest again, right? That is what he does, and he does that time and time again. That's what people talk about with him stepping on the gas, him figuring you out and stepping on the gas. If Errol Spence Jr. is going at you and he's attacking you in a very fundamentally sound type of fashion, and your response is to try to out-athlete him, if you have the quickness, if you have the speed and all of that, that very well may work. And I'm not saying that for sure that it won't work with Terence Crawford. However, if it doesn't work, what you're going to get is a lot of fundamental shots being thrown right at you. You're going to be seeing him, somebody looking for the counters that are most likely to come off of that and cause you some real problems over the course of the fight. And if age 35 or age 36 is past your prime, to begin with, if somebody is landing those type of shots on you, consistently putting that pressure on you, just like Hank Lundy said, he said pressure bust pipes. And that's what he sees happening to Terence Crawford. He sees pressure busting that pipe. Personally, I can see a scenario that I see where Terence Crawford can win the fight is if Terence Crawford literally takes a sledgehammer and bust that pipe open, right? You can, or a big axe or whatever it is that you can hit for a pipe and just bust that pipe open on one particular shot, then Terence Crawford can do that. If he's hitting something that Errol Spence Jr. doesn't see, or what other people think, Errol just drops his mouthpiece and sticks his chin out and lets Terence Crawford hit him. I mean, that's a scenario that people are seeming to bet on as well, but I'm not so convinced on that. Anyway, it is what it is. Both these guys have a chance to win this fight. But that's what an opponent of Hank Lundy had to say about how Terence Crawford fights. And that is most definitely how he fights, because when he got dropped by Egis Kalbanakis, that's what he did. Soon as Egis Kalbanakis hit him, boom, he goes at him. And then he winds up going at him and getting him out of there. If you can't do that to Errol, then Errol's going to keep coming right back at you. And another thing is Errol will take a step back, like like Robert Garcia said. Robert Garcia said, look, man, this guy can box from the outside. If you just going at Errol like that, Errol will take a step back and throw a jab in your face and box and wait for you not to be aggressive for a second. And then he's right back at you. You know what I mean? Anyway, but that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.